today's class we're going to learn about chapter 5, which is the marketing myths. Which is marketing myths, developing the marketing myths and plan. Marketing means it's a term which is used to describe all the activities which go into marketing a product or services. So in today's class we're going to learn not just about the marketing myths, we also try to look at another P, adding another P, which is philanthropy to your business, and also recognize the importance of a marketing plan. Okay, so when we say marketing myths, we're going to be talking about the 4 P's, which are product, price, place, and promotion. The 4 P's actually work together when we have a product. The very first P is a product, and if the first P, which is a product, does not exist, the other P's cannot exist. I mean, there must be a product before we can have price, we can have place, and before we can have promotion. A product, it's a design and quality. Okay, it's what actually represents is a theme. It's what actually brings about product, brings other aspects of the marketing myth. Let's say a product could be tangible thing or an intangible thing. It could be touched, it could be you could feel, and sometimes it's something we cannot actually touch and feel. So a product must first of all exist, and it could be service. A product could be services, not just a tangible thing you can see, like in manufacturing. And it could also be service like insurance, banking services, or hospital services, such like the medical practitioners. Then after product we have price. Okay, a price must be priced. A price exists when the product exists, and the price must be high enough to cover the business cost for the business to make a profit. So a price should reflect the market vision, and it should be able to cover for the cost, and it should be low enough for the consumers or customers to be able to afford that product, to be able to pay or price that product, make payment for that product. It should be good enough for them to be able to afford, and it should also be good enough for the business to make its profit, cover for its cost and make its profit. So a price must strike a balance that will make both the customers and the producers to be happy, and they both must have achieved their benefits from that product. The after product, we also have what they call after product price. We also have what they call place. A place is refers to the channels of distribution, a market where this product can be sold. Okay, the method the product can be delivered to the market for it to be used, for it to get to the consumers. It could be an online store, or a cart on the street, or it's a shopping mall. It could be anywhere, anything. Any place. So far, the consumers have access to it, and they can and also the producer can make it available, a place where the consumer and the producer can make the product available to the consumers, the customers. Then we have promotion. Promotion is how the product is advertised and promoted, and it's also the what types of advertising media which can be used. It also concerns that. It also includes the discounts that may be offered or any other types of sales promotion such as vouchers or free gifts or discounts. So these are the ways which promotion can happen. So we have products. The price means the price which is that means the price which the product is sold. We have the place where the products can be sold, the place. Then we have promotion. Okay, all these are 4 P's, and these 4 P's makes the marketing mix. And this is why we say this marketing mix is a term which is used to describe all the activities, because these 4 P's are the activities. Okay, the activities which go into marketing a product or service. Okay. So in 1980s, Bernard Booms and Mary Bittner, they also added more P's, which is 3 P's, to the already existing 4 P's to make it 7. And they did add process, people, physical evidence, and they said that all these are also aspects of the marketing means that should be considered. That the process is delivered is vitally important to the customers and the people which the people which are the customers, the companies, they rely on them, and they are also very important aspect of the product. So it's also it is essential to have the right people in the right roles doing the right things. That means both the customers, both the workers, all of these are people which actually carry out their roles differently. So the company rely on them, whichever whether they are producing or they are selling, okay, or whether they are customers. They rely on people to achieve all of these other aspects. They also talked about the physical evidence, and the physical evidence is when services include some types of physical elements, and these are significant for customers. Okay, such as intangible, okay, but not all of it. I mean, they are intangible, but then not all of it. So apart from that, there was also the alternative to the 4 P's. This was by Robert Lottabon, and this was centered. This is centered on the customer's wants, needs, cost to the customer, and confidence and communication. If you look at it, they are all kind of related. Um, they are the same but in a different way. When you talk about the product, you must think about the customer's wants and needs, because the product is actually supposed to give the customer the benefit which he or she seeks to derive from it. That means it should it should give them the satisfaction they want, they yearn for. Then we also talked about the price. They talked about the price, and the price is the cost to the customer, the place, the convenience which they can actually have access to this product to get them to use or to buy, and get them to buy, and get them to sell or to buy. Then they also talked about promotion, which is communication. When we communication and how these products are advertised and the method at which they are offered. Okay, so a product is something that must exist okay, and it's usually to be sold. It's usually made to be sold, and like I said before, said that the product could be either tangible or it could be intangible. Sometimes when we say a product, it doesn't have to always be tangible. A product could even be a skill, it could be a work, it could be a skill. When we talk about skills, let's look at these celebrities that are acting dramas, and celebrities that are comedians, celebrities that are movie stars. All of these skills which they display in their acting, in whatever thing they do, it's a brand. We know them and know them their skills. So this is why when we measure all of this, does not only have to do with just tangible items or things. It's also, when we measure product, we are also talking about the skills, the expertise, okay, that is provided in exchange for fields. That means that has a price, okay. That means it usually have a price, okay. Then a product must be defined by its physical attributes. I mean, the size, the quality, the color, the weight, the space, the logo, all this, the speed, the strength, the efficiency, the durability. It must have its uniqueness. So before you can actually say something it's a product, it must have all of this. And if a product do not have all of this, that means the product cannot be a brand, cannot have a brand. Now look at this. You see, we can say Oprah Winfrey. It's a brand. Yeah. As skills, what does she do? She's actually a TV show presenter, right? And she has once said that the key to uh, building a successful brand is to focus tightly on the primary benefit. So it doesn't mean that if you are creating a tangible items as a product, or you are uh, using your skill as a product. But the most important thing for all of this type of product is that it should uh, have a primary benefit to the customers, to the consumers of that product. When there's no that, when there's no unique benefit from this, the product will definitely be lose its brand. I mean, it will lose its goodwill, and the product will probably not be uh, will not really be patronized. Like Oprah Winfrey, for example, it's an entertainer and a TV show presenter, but then we could easily say that Oprah Winfrey is among the most recognized and wealthiest celebrities in the world today. We have so many TV presenters and entertainers, but yet some of them are not this successful as Oprah Winfrey. So for a product to be successful and to be well known, it must have its uniqueness, and that uniqueness is trying the product must focus tightly on the primary benefits that the consumers, the customers are going to get from it. Now we're going to look at the failure of the LSA the by the Ford brand. Ford brand's automobile is an mobile brand. They came up with a car that was called the Edse in 1958. But this did not sell because this car had everything. It didn't, but then it lacks its uniqueness. It lacks its uniqueness, and when they pushed this product to the market, though it had everything, people did not patronize it because they didn't see reasons to. They didn't see the primary benefit that comes with it. They didn't see the need to actually. They didn't have any uniqueness that would make them patronize it. And the Ford company learned from this, and they came out with the Mustang. I know many of you know the Mustang car from Ford. This was introduced into the market in 1964. In 1964, it focused clearly on a target market of people from the age of 20 to 30 years. And this car sold very well because it has a focus. it was focused on the youth that needed something very powerful, a powerful car. So this focus and uniqueness of this car made it sell very well compared to the Excel they came out with the earlier years in the earlier years. So interestingly, Ford saw this that they wanted to kind of probably thought that by trying to offer this Mustang car as a luxury car, it probably give them more sales, and this actually dropped the sales of the Mustang brand on as they had compared to what they anticipated. There was a drop in the sales. So what these case studies are saying is that a product should have a primary benefit and it should be focused. This is what we say that jack of all trade but master of none. A product should be able to give a unique benefit that will make people want to patronize it. Like the EDSL brand by the Ford is one example that had everything, but because it lacks its uniqueness, and there was no patronage, there was no patronage for the car. So moving on into this class, let's see how to build a brand. To build a brand should choose to build a brand. Choose a business name that's easy to remember. Describe your business and help establish mind share. Create a logo that symbolizes your business to the customers. Develop a good reputation. Create a brand personality and communicate your brand personality to your target market. And these are ways one can actually build a brand. Now we have we have very many brands in the world. Some are national and some are international. These are some of the international brands like the Unilever, Amazon, Coca-Cola here. We all know all these brands. We have the Facebook, McDonald's, Mastercard, Apple, and all of these brands are very popular. So a brand should have a logo. Some brands are known for their logo, their colors. Okay, they are known for their words, their names, their symbol, the device. Yeah, like the Apple now, when you see it, you know you're talking about the Apple brand. Or is it Coca-Cola? Or is it Twitter, Unilever? All these are brands and their logos, their colors. People know all of these brands, therefore, this what they represent. Okay, now we're going to see how to build your brand. We said that, okay, we still on that. Provide high quality product of service or service. Maintain the highest ethical standards. This is very important. Define your product or service clearly. You should focus. Okay, you should focus and try to give your brand that uniqueness which other brands lack. Then treat your employees well. This is also very important. Make all your advertisement positive and informative. Associate your company with a charity and become actively involved in your community. These are ways to build a very good brand. Now going to talk about price. Now we've talked about brand, product. Okay, now we're moving to price. We're going to talk about price. Pricing has different strategies, but before then, J. Conrad Levison studied consumers in the furniture industry and tried to see the relationship between price and product, and he was surprised to discover that the price came the ninth was not even prioritized. It came the ninth position when people were asked to list the factors affecting their decision to make a purchase. They didn't see the price as something foremost. They didn't consider price foremost, and majority of producers we think that price would be the first thing, but J. Conrad was surprised to know that people did not even consider price the first thing. And what was the first thing they considered? They considered confidence. People should trust your brand. Okay, people want to have confidence in the product. They want to feel. They believe that they want to have that feeling that when they buy the product they use is going to give them the benefit they want. I mean, they want confidence. It's very important. Confidence in the product was the number one influence on buying patterns, and quality was number two. The second one is quality. Service was the third. Confidence one, quality two, and service was the third. You see, the service is also very important. How businesses they give their customers service when it comes to patronizing their product. So businesses should try to have all of this prioritized. Then, so what this tells us that we should not only look at the economic aspect of price, okay? We should also look at pricing from the psychological aspect. So when we talk, like I said, we have different types of pricing strategy. There's no fixed pricing for any. There's no any fixed price. I mean, there's no fixed method for pricing. The price of a product depends on the kind of product and how you want it to go into the market. Okay, so this brings us to the different types of pricing. Okay, we have the value pricing, we have the prestige pricing, we have the cost plus pricing, we have the markup pricing. All these are pricing strategy which can be used for a product, but at different for different purpose, because each of these pricing strategies is to achieve actually for different purpose. For what purpose? I mean, for a specific reason. So depends on what the business people, I mean the company is trying to achieve. That is how they fix their pricing. I mean, they adopt the pricing strategy. So this depends on what they want to achieve. So we have the cost per pricing, which takes the original product cost and adds a desired markup. Uh, okay, we have scheme pricing. Uh, this is pricing that is used for products that are actually uh, introduced to the market for the first time, new development. Okay, okay, and it can be sold on the market in a high price. People will pay this high price because of the novelty factor of this product. It's new development. Most times this type of pricing is used for scientific development. I mean, products that are scientifically developed, that are new in the market. We also have the penetration pricing. Penetration pricing is used when you try to enter a new market. The price will be set lower than the competitors' prices. Then we have meet or beat the competition pricing, and this is usually used to undercut the prices of the competition. So these are the different types of pricing, and the one choosing to be used depend on the on what the company or the business intends to achieve. Now we're going to look at place location. Place location is the third aspect of the third P. You know, we talked about the product, we talked about the price, and now we are going to talk about place location. When we mention about place location, it means we're trying to see how these businesses how they kind of how they sell their product, how which methods they use, how they send their products out to the consumers, to their customers. I mean, if it refers to the channels of distribution that are selected by the company, okay, or the business. That is the method of getting the products to the market to be used. How do they get their product to the market for their customers to have? Then, or purchase. Do the manufacturers sell their product to the shops who sell to the public, or they sell at wholesale, or they sell directly to the customer? How do they do this? So the first thing we're going to look at is the case study of Walmart. how Walmart was able to achieve success in its business in the earlier years when it just started by prioritizing location, by really critically looking into the location and how they use location to achieve success in the business. You know, Walmart, we all know Walmart, it's a retail, what do you call it? It's a kind of retail business that sells all stuff of things we expect to see in the shopping mall. And when they wanted to start it was the first mass standardized store to choose location in the rural and semi-rural markets. They did not start off from the urban areas. Okay, they felt that they would be able to break into the market easily by starting off from the rural areas. And today, Walmart is almost every part of the world. So Walmart has done an efficient job by choosing locations that are ideal for attracting potential customers who are underdeserved by similar retailers. You know, those people in rural areas, most times they do not have access to this type of shops, big shops. So Walmart saw this as an advantage, okay, as a strategy to break into the market, and they started off not from the urban areas but rather from the rural areas. And today this strategy has made Walmart very successful, and other stores are not just copying. There are even other stores now that are seeking to be located near Walmart. Now, apart from what we the Walmart stories, today internet is another way in which people have been able to break into the market. And from with the internet, you can actually run your shops from your home. I mean, in short, from your bedroom. These days, you can sell to the world by just having an online shop, or uh, uh, or probably you sell on only on an online platform, apart from even in the shops, and you sell. And many of all these apps, they support this type of retail business. They help you create shops, they help you reach out to your target customers, and they promote your products for you. So this is another way. This is also a place we can say the internet is also a place that needs to be considered too. See, the internet is making it easier for people to provide services such as graphics or website design, writing, editing, or accounting to start business at home. So it makes it a lot easier compared to before now. Then, uh, what are the considerations that one has to include in trying to choose a place? First of all, it must be a place that you have access to customers, you have access to suppliers. It should be a place that the climate and geography is suitable for the business. Okay, for example, if it's not online, okay, this should also be prioritized. It's very important. Convenience, how convenient is this to the customers? Cost of facility mean the rent, the transportation cost, the logistics, demographics too. Are your customers there? What are the demographic information about your people, the people you are, the place of the people there? Okay, are your customers there? Then we have economic conditions and business incentives. All these are things you have to consider. Government regulations and laws. These are also very important. Okay, so that because sometimes some products are contraband in some countries, and some in some other countries they are lawful. So all these things are things one has to consider. Then we also look at the labor pool, okay, the environmental impact. When we talk about government regulation and laws, this also include the environmental impact. Is it government that are very interested in the 3 R's? That means you reduce, reuse, and recycle. Is it the government? Is that type of government? Because in such an environment, you must ensure your production style has to go with the Go Green initiative. Then we have also the labor pool. We also have proximity to competitors, all the visibility. Okay, will your business be visible? Sometimes some place where you intend to put up your business, where your customer will meet or know and patronize your product, might be congested, might not be suitable for you. So all these are aspects one has to consider before the person can choose a location or place for business. So these we have the critical things you have to look out for in the country decision, in the regional community decision, and the site decision. For the country, I made mention of because this all the things I have mentioned here, they are grouped into three aspects. We have the country decision, we have the regional community decision, we have the site decision. For the country decision, we have location of markets, cultural and economic issues, we have political risks and government recognition, national attitudes and incentives. All these are under country decision. Then when we talk about the regional community decision, we have corporate size, we have attractiveness of region, that means the culture, the taxes, the climate, etc. All these play a role. Then we also have environmental regulation. All these I've already mentioned. All these are grouped into the regional and community decision. Then we have the last aspect, which is site decision. And in site decision, items like site and size and cost should be considered. The area, the transportation, is it connected? The transport connected to the place, transport like the airway, highway, and waterway systems. Okay, are they working? Are they accessible to the location? Then we have the zoning restrictions and the environmental impact issues. All these are under site decision. So this brings us to promotion. Now we've talked about the product, we've talked about the price, we've talked about place. Now we're going to talk about promotion. And I did make mention that promotion is, I did make mention that in the beginning of the class, I did mention that promotion is also an important aspect of the 4 Ps. Okay, and I said that it's how the product is advertised and promoted, what types of advertising media should be used. This is under promotion. It also includes the discount. What kind of discount? Is it 50%? Is it 70%? Is it 20%? All this is considered. So also other types of sales promotions such as money off vouchers, games, all these are under promotion. So this is under promotion is actually when we try to advertise and create publicity about the product. Advertising is with Ella before this chapter 5. We'll discuss advertising in chapter 2 and chapter 4. Okay, so publicizing a product is also very important. When a product is not publicized, the product will not get to be known. Okay, so the more a product is known and is well known among people, the more there is high tendency that the product will be better and people know about the product. You remember I made it mention about in our previous classes how the product life cycle, okay, how a product grows. Then we also talked about the types of advertisement and so on. And types of advertisement and how to create awareness for a product. Now, publicity is free, okay? It's a free measure of a company, person, event, product, service in media outlets such as newspapers and magazines or on radio or television. Publicity can be done in any of these media. So we have, but however, we have to integrate marketing communication for success because it's a very, very important aspect of it. Marketing communication promotes your business to your current and prospective customers and to those who influence purchasing and sales decision. Okay, all communication include an originator, which is a source, and a specific message. That means overt or subliminal. Okay, a channel for dissemination and a target, and that means the receiver. Your marketing communication is targeted to a specific audience that are your prospective customers or that are your customers. Now, so promotion has expanded beyond just advertising, sales promotion, and personal selling, okay, to include database marketing, sponsorships, direct marketing, alternative marketing, e-active marketing, and public relations. It's just exceeds more than how we think it is. It's more than just that. These days, when you do marketing communication, these days there are a lot of ways to actually do it. Now, vast quantities of promotional materials bombard consumers and business daily, frequently creating unwanted clutter and noise. So, before you do a promotion, you must be well planned, very, very planned, because we don't want to cause a lot of unwanted clutter and noise. And when there's noise, it means we're not communicating. Okay, so for promotional planning to be integrated into the operations of any organization, all of the business components we need to have meaningful rules in the process. This is very important. Now, what are the promotion methods? We could use any of all these. Okay, we have from advertising specialties, people who handle this, to websites, to networking, newspapers, sponsorship, signs, social media demonstration, to broadcast media, brochures, business cards, catalogs, to coupons, to public speaking, samples or demonstration. Is it directories? All these are promotion methods one can use. However, whatever method you decide to use, there must be promotional planning and budgeting. Okay, whatever method, it's okay. So far that the simplest method to use, because the budget will derive either from the prior year's sales or expected sales. This is called the percentage of sales method. Or you could use the competitive spending method, which entails reaching your competitors to determine their level of spending, or use the excess funds approach. This is calculated and the allocating or collecting of funds, which is based on the result. And we have the last method, which is the objective and tax method. This is budget expenditures according to the strategies and tactics developed to reach specific promotional objectives. So now your unique selling proposition, which is the USP, is more valuable to your organization when it's successfully communicated to your target customers and motivates initial and repeat and make your customer repeat purchasing decision. They come over and over again to purchase. Then the unique selling proposition that is not successful communicated is worthless. It's worthless in terms of waste of time and waste of resources. This is why that if it's well planned, you know which medium best suits you, which you should continue with, and the one that you should stop with. So, summarily, a unique selling proposition that is successful communicated can be priceless. So let's look at the advantages of sales promotion. Advantage and sales promotion. Okay. The popular media have portrayed advertising as a fast-paced, highly active form and creative choice. Yes, this is it. But each one has its specific advantage and disadvantage. Now, the objective of advertising and its management should reflect those of a comprehensive promotional plan, and successful advertising will achieve them all. You should be able to build the brand and image. You'll be able to provide information for the business and for the customers. You should be persuading. You should simulate actions and reinforce the purchasing decision. This is important. The institutional advertising, there's what they call institutional advertising and product advertising. These are types of advertising. Institutional advertising focus on the business itself. Okay, it's information about the organization instead of a specific product. And product advertising, is a focus on the product on itself, on the product instead of the organization. A good example is like you are. What product should I give? For example, you are advertising the Ford automobile industry I mentioned. Ford is an automobile company. If you are advertising Ford, you just advertising Ford. But if you decide to advertise Excel or Musang, that means you are doing a product advertising. Now, moving on, let's look at this one. This slide is about the media planning and buying. Focus on your customer. So an effective advertisement for a business should focus on the benefit a product or service that product or service we provide to the customer. Okay, and what they are reading, what are they viewing. In our previous chapter, we tried to talk about how you should know about your customers, the demographic information about your customer, what they patronize is also very important. This is how a business will be able to create product or services that will meet their needs or want. So, what are their reading, viewing, and listening person? What appeals to them? What doesn't? All these are also very important in media planning and buying. Avoid wasting money in outlets which the audience will be interested in your products. There are some outlets which we advertise on, and the business outlets we advertise on, and the customers will not be interested in your product or services. So this is why it's very important to know your customers, what they do, how they do, and where the outlet most of them are used to, they patronize. What are they reading? What are they viewing? What are they listening to? Okay, their listening patterns. What appeals to them? What doesn't? What doesn't appeal to them? These are very important things we must know about our audience, our customers. Then combine this common sense approach with solid research to maximize advertising effectiveness. So these are the the advertising um, medias which can be used: television, the radio, the newspaper, the magazines, internet, outdoor media, social media. All this has their pros and cons. It's left for the business to weigh both and see which is most suitable for the type of product they want to advertise. For some, the uh, the advantage it's more compared to, it's greater than the disadvantage, and for some, the disadvantage is greater than the advantage. So, as a business, the business if that plans their promotion very well, they are able to weigh both sides and decide which to use. Now, moving on, we're going to look at materials. Marketing materials should reinforce your competitive advantage. All promotional items for your business should reflect and reinforce your marketing vision, which in turn will reinforce your competitive advantage. They should include the name of your business, your logo, and the slogan which you have if you have one. All these are things the business has to have to uh, to go with their business. In short, when you are creating the product should have a slogan, a logo, even colors. Okay, there are some colors that we know with a lot of brands. Okay, then in fact you have a more stronger impact if all your business material are tied together with a strong coordinated image. Then this should extend beyond your logo into the format, font, style, colors, and look of your materials. All this should be put together while you create your product. Now we have sales promotion. Excuse me. Sales promotion provide another set of tools to add to the mix. We have the various efforts. There are various efforts to increase sales volume by specified levels, which either reward purchases or provide discounts, and can be effective for both consumers, business to uh, to both consumer and business to business marketing. Then we have sales promotion solutions do not have to be complex or sophisticated to work. It could be very basic and simple. The most important thing is how your consumers, if it's how your consumers receive it, and if it works with them, if it's able to persuade them to make them patronize. So it's not whether it's complex or sophisticated. Then we have the consumers, we have the business to business. Example of for consumers, you could have coupons, contests, and skeptics. We have refunds and rebates. We have sampling, premiums, tie-ins, and bonus packs. These are promotional tools for consumers. Then for business to business, if it's a business to a business, because when we talk about products, we have types of products. We have products that are consumer goods, and some are called consumer services, and we also have producer goods and producer services. For consumer goods, these are goods which are consumed by people. Okay, they can be goods that do not last long, and some goods, even if when they last long, they don't last very long. Okay, such as food, okay, and cleaning materials, and some goods that last relatively long, food goods like furniture and computers. All these are consumer goods. Then let's look at consumer services. For consumer services, they are produced for people. They are services produced for people. They are not produced for another production purpose. This is for consumer goods and consumer services. Okay. Then for producer goods and producer services, these are produced for production purpose. That means these goods are produced for other people to produce. They are goods that are produced for other businesses to use. They are bought to help with the production process. Example are like lorries, for example, okay, machineries and companies. We also have producer services. These are services that are produced to help other businesses, like we're talking about like the accounting software, insurance, and advertising agencies. So, for example, if you are doing promotional tools, if you are deciding on your promotional tool, you should be sure if it's a consumer goods or services, if you are doing for consumer goods or services, or you are doing for producer goods or producer services. But whichever you do it for, this you determine. For consumer goods and services, is consider coupons, quotas, and sweepstakes, refunds and rebates, sampling, premiums, tie-ins, and bonus. And for producer goods and producer services, they look like incentives, contests, refunds and rebates, sampling, allowance, and trade show. So promotional tools are best used when the strategies calls for a highly targeted, time-limited boost in response, and they can be excellent ways to encourage new product tries and to raise seasonal performance. Okay, contests and sweepstakes are a way of securing product engagement and potentially repeat sales. Then we also have sampling. Okay, sampling brings the product or service message to life. When you sample, you give out samples. Some samples can be, it's free. It means you don't expect a I mean money back. It's not for sales, it's not sold. So when you use samples, it actually brings the product or service message to life. The consumer through experience, they will get to try it. That means they are trying it. So some companies, they use samples. Then we have advertising specialties. The strategic inclusion of specialty items can be an effective sales promotion tool. The best giveaway are those that are useful, such as pens, or which prospective customers will see on your business name and contact information. Then we have visit wholesalers or search online to investigate discount prices on quantities of calculators, watches, pens, or other appropriate items. Now we have the trade show exhibit. This is another way of promoting to. This is trade show exhibition. It's a proven promotional strategy for business to business. I mean, companies and can also succeed for certain types of consumer marketing. Yeah, for some consumer marketing, for consumer product or consumer service, trade show exhibit is also used to. Okay, so this varies anyway. It depends on who your target audience are and what kind of product you are passing through to the people you are introducing to them. Then we have the more carts or kiosks. These are another way of for many seasonal businesses or businesses that are working to create full-scale retail operations. More carts or kiosks may prove effective. These are small kiosks. We see them a lot. We see them a lot in some areas, even in some shopping malls. They have this little more carts or kiosks set up. Then it also signing a multi-year lease for a retail store is not likely to make sense for a seasonal business such as Christmas or Halloween operation. Then we have sometimes such businesses can find vacant retail spaces to rent for just a season, or they can partner with others to rotate in and out of a store. In other situations, they can also create a business model of changing seasonal inventory and focus. There are other marketing options such as the guerrilla marketing, the boost marketing, and the edutainment. All these are ways of, of, promotional. They are also promotional strategy for business. So alternative marketing today, we have the guerrilla marketing, boost marketing, product placement, branded entertainment, lifestyle marketing, and in-store marketing. For the in-store marketing, we have samples of demonstration, point of purchase, and self-placement. Then the other media venues are parking lots, tunnels, escalators, benches, bus stops. Okay. Then these are ambient advertising. Just put this. Sometimes you could actually put your posters there for people to see. Then we have the indoor advertising. This can be done in movie theaters. Sometimes when you go to the cinema, you go to a movie theater, before the main movie will start, you will see a lot of adverts. Okay, we have the video games, we have the bathroom stores, we have the commercial trucks, we have the airline in flight. The other advertising could also be carry out menus, shopping bags, advertising on clothing. You see the shopping bags we buy. Sometimes it could be free, sometimes they ask you to pay very, very small amount of money to get the shopping bags. All these are ways to advertise. As because these shopping bags we buy them, we can kind of recycle them. We reuse. We use for a long time, and when we are doing it unknowingly, we are actually advertising the the brand that is printed on the shopping bags. We have advertising on clothing. These are also with sometimes they give free t-shirts, free pens, and all these things. They put their companies names, businesses names, and logos, colors, and everything. We have the brochure racks. These are the brochures are usually free at probably at the entrance or exit of the place of the business place. Then we have swine dwellers. All these are other media this can use other media venues that are ways of advertising other media venues. Okay, now we have electronic and social media marketing. The e-active marketing, this is when two major components of internet marketing, commerce, and interactive marketing combine together. So we have the e-active marketing. So internet advertising has grown over time. In short, it's taking over the conventional way of marketing we used to do or we used to know. So internet marketing has grown with the expansion and adoption of internet technology. Not only have entrepreneurs and major corporations come to include online advertising and promotion as a regular part of the media mix, the entire industry segment have evolved to serve the interactive media field. So these days we have the e-commerce, interactive marketing, online advertising, brand spiraling, and blogs, social media marketing, viral marketing, consumer generated advertising. All these can be combined with the offline effort to create a unified approach to marketing. Sometimes businesses they combine all they just combine some with their offline marketing to reach out to create publicize their product. So brand spiraling is when you integrate a company's conventional offline brand strategy with its internet strategy by using conventional approaches to drive traffic to its online site. Then we have the blog. We all know the blog, okay? Short word for weblog, okay? A journal that appears on the internet periodically, perhaps daily, and is intended for the public. We have the blogosphere. This is the collective term used for all the blogs on the internet. Then we have the state marketing, undercover or deceptive marketing efforts that are intended to appear as if they happen naturally. Then we have the viral marketing, the process of promoting a brand, product, or service through an existing social network where a message is passed from one individual to another, much as a virus spreads. So these are all the electronic social medias, the website. So you can take a look on your own. You can take a look at them later on probably check them out, how they operate, how they work. Many of them have their own marketing tools which they use to support businesses. I know, at least I know for Facebook, I know for Instagram, and I know for, I don't know if Instagram is here. Okay, there are many others which are not stated there. You can check them out. There we have zones of social media marketing. We have uh, the social community, we have the social publishing, we have the social entertainment, and we have the social commerce. Okay, now the sharing, socializing, and conversing. This is for the social community. We just share, we socialize, we converse, we communicate, we chat. I mean, we just converse. Okay, most times the the ones, the medias, I mean the blogs or the sites or the page carrying news, they do a lot of this one. Then when we talk about social publishing, this has to do with editorial, commercial user, also the news sites, they'll do all of this. Then we have the social commerce. These are business pages, although they are all interwoven, they are all interlinked. A lot of businesses, they do all of it, because sometimes by the time you you go through with one, you get the page get involved with other aspect of it. So you end up sharing and socializing and conversing, doing editorial, commercial, user-generated games, music. Okay, then sometimes social commerce, which is CRO service, retailers, and human resource. Then let's look at the what are the potential publicity potential. Publicity is sometimes referred to as public relation, which is PRO. It's defined as a planned and sustained effort to establish and maintain goodwill and mutual understanding between an organization and its public. So consumer give publicity credibility because it is not paid for. Okay. So publicity is important for a small business which also has a negligible advertising budget. Now, to get publicity, you will need to mail or fax a pitch letter and, and a press release to the magazine, newspaper, TV stations, or radio stations you hope to your interest. Uh, then we also have the pitch letter and the press release. For the pitch letters, must correspondent design to explain the story behind the press release and why it will be interesting and relevant to the media outlet, readers, listeners, or viewers. Then press release is an announcement sent to the media to generate publicity that explain the who, what, when, where, and why, and how of a story. Okay. Then telling a story. The young entrepreneurs can have an advantage here because relatively few young people start their own businesses, and when they know, people want to know the story behind them. Some people will tell you, I start doing this because of this and this, and some will tell you, I started doing this because of this. A good example is about a girl that started the recycling business because she saw that a lot of waste cans and bottles were wasted and they were being used to block the drainage system in our environment, and that caused a lot of flood. So these are stories. Okay, so young entrepreneurs can give this, telling a story. You have to make the connection. Whatever story you are giving, it should be connected to what you are trying to sell to them, or the idea you are trying to make them buy with you. Okay, so who are you and what has happened to you? What have you done that will make you and your business an interesting story? These are ways to think before you come up with a story. Then, did you have to overcome any obstacle to start your businesses? So all these are stories, things to think about to put up a story. Now, what about your product or service? Is it unique? Is it something your community really needs? When is a specific event taking place that is newsworthy of interest for a story? So these are all the questions. Then where are you locating the business, or where is the event or activity occurring? These are questions that your story should reflect. So the last one is, how has your business changed you and helped members of your community? Now moving on, this is an example. Let's see, as we have said, in order to tell your example of a press release, as we have said, in order to tell your story in a press release or to a reporter, you have to answer the 6 basic questions of who, okay, what, when, where, why, and how. Okay, what you're doing, how you're doing, where are you doing it, when are you doing it, how you started, what brought about it, who you are, and why and how you're doing whatever you're doing. So all this must be put in a story for a press release. Now there should be a follow-up in your press release. Follow up on your press release with phones or emails. Try to reach the journalist directly. Be polite but persistent. Do not wait for a newspaper or radio station to return your call. You should call on them. You follow up on them. Call again, but do not make a pest of yourself. Okay, do not be a nuisance. Then they receive many press release every day. Because they receive many press release every day, so you shouldn't be a nuisance. So you should try to call on them, but when you reach out to them, you should be polite about your inquiries and whatever information or communication you're having with them. Then we suggest saving all publicity you receive to show potential customers, because it has enormous value. By the time you reach out to customers, even not just only customers, even investors, all of these press release is also very important to show to them, to buttress your point and make them understand how you've been coming, how you've been doing, what you've been doing, where you're coming from, what you are at today, and where you're going. So now let's look at the public relation. In terms of special events, we have in addition to publicity, you can build positive public relations for your company through involvement in the local community and in local, national, international, professional, and business organizations that pertain to your businesses, and that through special events, sponsorships, networking, and public speaking. Then we have the fifth P, which is the philanthropy. Philanthropy is a concern for human being and social welfare. It involves everyone, either at the macro or micro level. So, a concern for human and social welfare that is expressed by giving money through charities and foundation. So, for foundation, a not-for-profit organization that manages donated funds, which is distributed through grants to individuals or to other non-profit organizations that help people and social causes. Then not-for-profit organization, an entity formed with the intention of addressing social or other issues with any profits going back into the organization to support its mission. So this is the difference between a philanthropy, foundation, and not-for-profit organization. Then we have cause-related marketing. These are promotional efforts inspired by commitment to a social, environmental, political cause. You could donate a fixed percentage of your profits, perhaps like 1 or 2%. This depends on the donor, to a particular charity, and then publicize that fact in your marketing materials. Then we have encourage your employees to participate in charitable work too. Then we have the gaining goodwill. Many entrepreneurs try to make a difference in their communities by giving money and time to organizations that help people. The goodwill, an intangible asset generated when a company does something. At the beginning of this class, I mentioned goodwill. Okay, when a company is able to build a brand over time and they are known for their the consumer have confidence in them, they know for their quality, and you see after a time the product, the brand will have a goodwill. So, and when we say goodwill, it's an asset. It's actually an asset. Over time, it's an added value to the company or product, and it's an asset, an intangible asset generated when a company does something positive that has value, and over time it gets bigger. The goodwill gets bigger as far as the company is consistent in doing great things and great jobs and giving out to people. Meeting the needs and benefits and giving the people the benefits they deserve. Now we're going to look at non-for-profit organizations. These are organizations set up for non-for-profit purpose. So are those whose purpose is to serve the public. Their purpose is actually to serve the public rather than to accrue profit, or accrue profit for investors. They actually set up to solve issues, problems without prioritizing profit. They are not set up for profit purpose. So the Internal Revenue Service classified non-profit under section. Don't forget, this is the slides gives American examples. So in America, the Internal Revenue Service classified non-profit under section 5 501c3 in the tax code. For every country, they have their own classification, the rules and laws that regulates this non-profit organization, their registration, how they are regulated, okay, their requirement. It varies from country to country. However, most non-profit organizations they follow same objective and they follow same purpose most times, but their regulation differ from country to country. So these corporations are tax exempted in most parts of the world because they're not set up for profit reasons. So because of that, they are not taxed by the government. So this means they do not have to pay federal or state income taxes, and they are neither privately or publicly owned. Essentially, a board of directors controls the operations of a 501c3 non-profit. Then what entrepreneurs have built. So many philanthropist organizations in the country are created by entrepreneurs who wanted to do good work. So because of that, they need a platform which they can carry out their good work. So because of this, they build a lot of philanthropy organizations to do good work with some of the wealth they have earned. Entrepreneurs have financed great museums, libraries, university, and other important institutions. Apart from that, there are some places they provide water, they finance orphans, widows in many places in rural areas. Then some foundation created by famous entrepreneurs in addition to the Gates Foundation. For example, the Gates Foundation, it's a foundation, okay, philanthropic foundation. And these include the Rockefeller Foundation too, the Coleman Foundation, and the Shaji Koch Foundation, the Ford Foundation, and the Goldman Sachs Foundation. All these are philanthropic foundation that their purpose is to help the community in which they operate. You may have millions of dollars to give to your community yet, but there are many ways you can be philanthropic that will help others. Get your employees excited and create goodwill in your community. This is very important. It's not until you have a foundation before you can do all of this. It can be from the micro level to the macro level. It doesn't have to be about foundation before you do the good. So pledge a percentage of your profits to a non-profit organization. You can be a financial. You contribute the funds they are using. You can be what do you call it? A You can donate. You can donate to all of these foundations. It doesn't mean you have to set up yours. Like what we have today, everyone is setting up foundation in their name, and we are having less sponsors for the existing ones. So pledge a percentage of your profits to a non-profit organization you have researched, believe in, and respect. Become a mentor to a young entrepreneurs. Volunteer for an organization that helps your community. Sell your product to a charity that you support at a discount. Now, you have to develop a marketing plan. The primary roles of the marketing plan includes demonstrating the potential investors that your company can grow and offers returns. You should also identify the most beneficial target markets for the organization. We've done about marketing plan in our previous chapters. However, for you, if you still if you need a marketing plan in preparing when you need to prepare the marketing plan, you must state your the 4 P's. The place, the price, the products, the place, the promotion, the price. All these must be ingredients that should be stated in the marketing means the 4 P's is there the things that must be stated in the marketing plan. So you must demonstrate to the potential investor that your company can grow and offer returns, identify the most beneficial target markets for the organization, evaluate the competitive and industrial environments, illustrate the pricing strategy, and study the promotional plan and budget. So we have the marketing analysis. The analysis of the market is the art of the marketing plan. It's very important. So it brings together the behavioral strategy and tactical components of the marketing effort into the single comprehensive section. And it's also essential that the template for the sales plan include the 5 P's, the 7 P's, or 4 C's of marketing, and which, like I already mentioned, which are the product, price, promotion, place, and philanthropy, and are all well detailed in it. Marketing as a fixed cost. Marketing is part of your business fixed cost. Marketing should not be budgeted as a percentage of sales, but rather as money that is needed to drive sales. So fixed costs are those that do not vary with sales. They are fixed. Okay. No matter the quantity you are selling, is fixed. Okay. There are also variable costs. This varies with the quantity you are producing. Okay, you are selling, such as the commission that fluctuates with sales. Okay. Then we have marketing costs are more flexible. They fall into category of advertising, but may also show up under salaries if you hire a marketing consultant or marketing staff. We should also be able to calculate our break even. Okay. So the formula for break even is fixed cost divided by the gross profit per unit, and it will get the break even unit. So what is break even? Break even is the point at which fixed costs are recovered by sales, and the point at which you'll be able to you'll be able to get the cost of your production, the money at which you spent producing the goods. For example, you sell uh, you sell 20 items, and you spent uh, like 10 $10 to produce these 20 items. So the break-even point is how many items do you need to sell to recover the $10. I mean, the point where you cover the money you spent on the cost of product, on the cost of production, for the cost for that product or service. Okay, so the price determines it. The less the price, the more items you have to sell, and the higher the price, the 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 less the price, the more items you have to sell, and the higher the price, the less item you have to sell to be able to break even. But before you fix a price, the price should be a win-win situation for all. It should be something that it should be an amount the customer should be able to afford, and it should be an amount that will be able to cover for the cost of just the number of items that customer is buying from you. So this is why we say break-even is the point at which fixed costs are recovered by sales, but variable costs are not included and no profit has yet been made. It's a point you've not made your profit. Okay, and the variable cost is not included. Is a point where you be able to cover for the fixed cost, the money you spent on those items, the fixed cost. So it's very important. It shows whether you will cover your fixed cost with the number of units you plan to sell, and if not, the one place you can cut costs is your marketing plan. However, you should do this with care. So this is all for today's class, and if you have question,